Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today, really deep, all about leveling up your life, getting more out of it.
More fulfilling. Yeah, I like that. Leveling up.
And we've got a ton of awesome material to go through. We're talking goal setting, mindfulness, even how to build better habits.
Mindset shifts, too. It's really a pretty amazing collection of ideas.
Exactly. And our mission here is to help you sift through it all, not just summarize, but actually pull out the stuff that can make a real difference.
The practical stuff, right? Things you can actually use.
Absolutely. So first up, let's talk goals. I mean, everyone wants to be happy, successful, all that. But this source material really nails it.
Oh, yeah. It uses this analogy comparing life to a road trip, and I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, you wouldn't just get in the car and be like, take me somewhere nice. You need a destination, right?
Exactly. So instead of vague wishes like be happier, it gives these concrete examples. Like instead of be healthier, it says walk 5,000 steps a day for 30 days.
That's so much clearer, Your brain can actually latch onto that.
Absolutely. Or another one, instead of I want to be successful, it says start a photography business and book 5 clients a month.
Wow. Yeah. Suddenly it's not just a dream, it's a plan.
Right. And the source emphasizes this point about honesty in goal setting. It's about what success means to you.
Not what society tells you or your parents or whoever.
Exactly. And it's aligning those goals with your values. It reminds me of that Brian Tracy quote, "Goals are the fuel in the furnace of achievement."
Love that quote. So how do we get this fuel going? The source says write it down.
Yeah, it's not enough to just think about it. When you write it down, it becomes real.
It's like you're making a commitment.
Totally. And then, this is key, you break those big goals down into smaller steps.
Right, so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Okay, next big idea, and I'm sure this resonates with everyone.
Hit me with it.
Stillness, peace, quiet. In other words, meditation.
Yeah. The source calls it the mute button on chaos. And I don't know about you, but I need that button sometimes.
Constantly. But here's the thing. You don't need to spend hours in a silent retreat.
Right, that's the myth, isn't it? But the source emphasizes that even 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of focused breathing can make a difference.
Just close your eyes, feel your breath. You don't have to empty your mind completely, which is impossible anyway.
It's more about being present, noticing. And what's really interesting? It's like training your brain, literally.
Like going to the gym for your mind. I like that.
Exactly. It strengthens your prefrontal cortex, which is like the control center, and the connection to the amygdala, which handles emotions.
So more calm, more control. Makes sense. All right, ready for another powerful idea?
Always. Lay it on me.
Reading. And this source calls books time machines.
Ooh, I love that. They really are, connecting us to great minds from the past, from all over the world.
Right, and you don't need to devour a whole book every day.
Just 10 pages, the source says. 10 pages consistently can have a huge impact.
And it recommends some specific books, too.
Yeah, like if you're trying to build better habits, it mentions Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Great book. And for a stronger mindset, there's The Magic of Thinking Big.
So it's about feeding your mind, just like you nourish your body with good food.
I'm all about that. Now, this next point, it's a tough one, but so important.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Judging less. The source calls it carrying invisible weights.
Wow, that's such a powerful image. And it's so true. Judging others really weighs us down.
It does. But what can we do about it?
Well, instead of judging, the source says try to understand. That person you're judging. They might be going through something you have no idea about.
Exactly. The source has this mantra, everyone is fighting a battle I cannot see.
It's a good reminder to be more compassionate, to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. And when you let go of judging, it creates space for kindness.
And that kindness often ripples out. It benefits everyone, not just the person you're being kind to.
Love that. Okay, let's talk about something that might seem small, but has a huge impact.
I'm listening.
Waking up a bit earlier, just 30 minutes earlier.
Interesting. The source calls this quiet, sacred space.
Yeah, before the day's craziness starts. You can have coffee in peace, read, take a walk.
It's like you're starting the day on your terms instead of hitting the ground running.
And it builds momentum, I think. You already feel accomplished before most people even wake up.
There's a Tony Robbins quote, "The way you start your day determines how well you live your day."
So true. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about food, but not in a diet way.
More like a mindful way.
Exactly.
Huh.
The source says healthy food isn't just fuel, it's information for your body.
I like that. So what are we telling our bodies with junk food?
Well, the source says it can make you sluggish, foggy, unfocused.
Whereas whole, unprocessed foods give you energy, improve mood, help you focus better.
And it doesn't have to be drastic, just small changes. Swap soda for water, add some fruit.
Cook a meal at home once a day, those little things add up.
They do. And the source makes this amazing connection between health and freedom.
Oh yeah, when you feel good, you can do more, experience more. You're not limited by your body.
That's powerful. We talked about meditation earlier, but the course also talks about finding peace in other ways.
Like what?
It could be listening to music, taking a slow walk in nature, journaling, anything that brings you peace.
It even tells a story about this woman who found peace by lighting a candle and having tea with no phone or distractions.
Just a quiet moment. And the source says these moments give you strength to face whatever comes your way.
Like a reset button. Okay, what's next?
Let's talk about journaling. The source describes it as a mirror, reflecting your thoughts and emotions.
That's a great way to put it. It helps you understand yourself better.
And again, it doesn't have to be this huge commitment, just a few lines every day.
You could write about what you learned, what you're grateful for, what you want to do better tomorrow.
There's even a story about a client who used journaling to overcome anxiety.
Really? How did that work?
She wrote down 3 good things every day. It shifted her focus to the positive.
That's amazing. Writing can really help to clear your mind, organize your thoughts.
It does. All right, ready to step out of your comfort zone.
Always up for a challenge. What are we talking about?
Learning a new skill. The source compares it to planting a seed that expands your world.
It could be anything, right? Cooking, a new language, an instrument.
Exactly. It even talks about this 50-year-old man who learned to play guitar and felt alive again.
That's so inspiring. Learning new things keeps you young, curious, engaged.
It does. And those new skills often lead to more new skills. It's like a chain reaction.
Awesome. So we've all got routines, but are they helping us or holding us back?
That's the question the source asks.
It says our routines can either support our growth or sabotage it.
So what can we do about it?
Well, it suggests making small changes. Swap late-night TV for reading.
Or replace mindless scrolling with stretching or learning something new.
It also talks about having a power hour each day.
What's that?
An hour dedicated to something that nourishes you, helps you grow.
I like that. And the source connects these new routines to new results.
Makes sense. If you keep doing the same things, you'll keep getting the same results.
So true. Okay, let's talk about something that can feel really overwhelming, but is so crucial.
Already hit me.
Planning a new strategy. The source calls strategies the map to achieving your big dreams.
I like that. Without a map, you're just wandering around.
Exactly. And it suggests asking yourself some tough questions. What's not working? What can I change?
What's my next small step?
It's about moving from wishing to doing.
And it shares a story about an entrepreneur who tripled their income by creating a weekly plan.
Wow, that's impressive. It shows the power of having a strategy.
Definitely. And it defines strategy as clarity and action, which I think is brilliant.
Okay, this next one might be a little uncomfortable, but it's so valuable.
I know what you're going to say. Asking for feedback.
You got it. The source says it helps you see your blind spots, the things you might not be aware of.
It can be tough to hear criticism, even constructive criticism. It can, but the source reframes feedback as a gift, something that can help you grow.
It's like looking in a mirror, seeing yourself from a different perspective.
Exactly. And remember, feedback is about helping you improve, not about attacking you.
Okay, let's tackle another big one. Bad habits. The source compares them to weeds that choke your potential.
That's a vivid image, and so true. Those bad habits can really hold us back.
The source suggests focusing on just one bad habit at a time.
And instead of just trying to stop it, replace it with a good habit.
Like instead of snacking when you're stressed, drink water or go for a walk.
It's about being aware and making a conscious choice.
And it's about taking back your power. You're not a slave to your habits.
Okay, this next one is the foundation of everything, I think.
I agree. Believing in yourself.
The source calls it quiet confidence. It's not about being arrogant, it's about knowing your worth.
And believing you can achieve your goals.
It tells a story about a woman who overcame self-doubt to change careers.
She worked on her belief by remembering her past successes and using affirmations.
That's inspiring. It shows that belief is a muscle you can build.
And Venus Williams said, "You must believe in yourself when no one else does. That's what makes you a winner."
Powerful words. Okay, let's talk about investing, but not just money.
I was going to say, there's more to it than that.
The source talks about investing in your skills, your health, your relationship.
And your time. It's all valuable.
But it still emphasizes the importance of learning about financial investing.
Even the basics can make a huge difference.
It tells a story about a client who invested just $25 a week and saw amazing results over time.
That's the power of consistency. And Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is in yourself.
That ties it all together. Investing in yourself leads to freedom.
All right, let's talk about something we all do but probably shouldn't.
Let me guess. Making excuses.
Bingo. The source calls excuses soft chains that keep you stuck.
They're comfortable, familiar, but they don't get you anywhere.
And it lists some common ones. I don't have time. I'm too tired. It's not the right moment.
It says those are often lies we tell ourselves because we're afraid.
So what's the solution?
Be honest. Instead of saying, I don't have time, say, I'm choosing not to do this right now.
I might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's the first step to breaking free.
And the source says the day you start making excuses is the day you start making progress.
That's powerful. All right, last one, and this is a big one for a lot of people.
What ate on me?
Procrastination. The source calls it a silent thief that steals your time, goals, and confidence.
Ugh, I hate that thief. But seriously, it's so true. Procrastination can really mess you up.
And it often comes from fear, not laziness, fear of failure, fear of judgment.
So how do we fight this fear?
Well, the source suggests the 2-minute rule. If you can do it in 2 minutes, do it now.
That's a good one. And for bigger tasks, break them down into tiny steps.
Like if you have to write a report, just open your laptop and create a title.
It gets the ball rolling. And remember, action beats anxiety.
Okay, final area to cover, and this can be a tough one for a lot of people.
Okay, let's hear it.
Your finances. Money. It affects everything.
It does. But a lot of people avoid looking at their finances because it's scary.
Totally understandable. But the source says you have to face it with courage.
And ask yourself some key questions. What are my monthly expenses? Can I cut anything?
Am I saving enough? Can I earn more?
It tells a story about this guy who was always broke, even though he made good money.
Turns out he was spending a ton on takeout. Once he tracked his spending, he could change his habits.
That's why financial freedom starts with clarity, knowing where your money is going.
Okay, let's wrap up with a powerful mindset shift, focusing on the positive.
I love that. Our brains are wired to notice the negative, but there's so much good in the world, too.
The source suggests writing down 3 good things that happen each day.
Even small things. It trains your brain to look for the positive.
It's not about ignoring problems, it's about choosing a more optimistic perspective.
And that can make a huge difference in how you experience life.
It can. And finally, let's talk about attitude. The source calls it the lens through which you view the world.
And you can choose what kind of lens you want to use.
It gives the example of 2 people facing the same bad situation. One complains, the other sees opportunity.
That's a great illustration. Your attitude determines how you respond to everything.
And Charles R. Swindoll said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
So true. A small shift in attitude can open up huge possibilities.
Wow, we covered a lot today. Let's quickly recap the 3 main areas.
Sure. First, we talked about building a strong foundation.
Setting clear goals, finding peace through meditation or other practices, establishing good habits.
Then we talked about taking action.
Journaling, planning, asking for feedback, believing in yourself.
And finally, we talked about strengthening your mind.
Investing wisely, stopping excuses, focusing on the positive, changing your attitude.
And the key takeaway is this. You don't have to do everything at once.
Just pick 1 or 2 things that resonate with you and start there.
Consistency is more important than complexity. Small steps lead to big changes.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into personal growth.
We hope you found it valuable. Remember, even small, consistent actions can create amazing transformations.
So as you go about your day, think about this. Which of these steps, if you really commit to it, could create the biggest positive shift in your life in the coming months?
We encourage you to explore that question and keep moving forward on your journey of growth.
Thanks again for listening.
See you next time.